Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I have a video that I want to show you guys, but first I want to just talk about something really quick. We always hear, drugs in the black neighborhoods and how, the black neighborhoods are infected with all these drug dealers and how, they need to clean up the neighborhoods and how black people are living in hell, which is the new thing that they're labeling us and telling us that, our neighborhoods are hell because there's so much drugs on the streets. And but we don't really hear a lot about, the behaviors and the activities in the white communities. And we all know, if you've been paying even the slightest amount of attention to the stories that we bring you on YouTube. And even you could just go on YouTube and see some of the derangement in the white communities. Drugs right now is in the white community are at an all-time high. Like it's an epidemic. And let me just tell you, when white people are using drugs, they're seen as victims. They're victims. They have mental illnesses. They're going through something. They're never thugs. They're never criminals. But that's what they truly are. And right now they're meth and heroin and opiates and pharmaceutical drugs and pretty much anything that they can get their hands on. It is an epidemic. It's killing them, but to the point where they're changing laws and legislations and how mental illness is looked at. But when it's in the black community, they want to build prisons. They want to make tougher sentences. We really need to crack down on this. And it's really total difference. There's a complete difference in how it is addressed in the black community as how it is addressed and even looked at or talked about in the white community. In the white community, they're always victims. They're always they just need help. They're struggling. But in the black community, we're always villainized. We're always criminals. We're always thugs. But I'm just going to show you just a quick video of just an example of the deranged behavior that is in the white community and when it comes to drugs. Definitely, you would think with white supremacy, which is completely it's white supremacy is also, it's terrorism. It's an epidemic. It's a system that is, built and ran by white people to benefit white people. And you would think that because of that, they with tests that are made for them and every medication is actually made for white people to benefit white people. They have therapy, they have everything at their hands, and yet it's not helping them. It's not making them happy. It's not causing them to not be on drugs. You would think, they always talk about, the broken homes in the black community. Well, why are white people on so much drugs? Why are white people committing so many crimes? If they're not impoverished, they have money, they have the schools, they have everything at their fingertips, and yet they are some of the most corrupt, some of the most criminalized and drug infested people on this planet. The thing that's sickening about it is that they have all this help at their fingertips. You don't see TV shows saying that people on the news saying that their neighborhoods are hell, or they come from, if only their families weren't broken. The way they describe black communities and black households is disgusting, and the way white households really are is disgusting. I'm going to attempt to play this video. I don't know. I think I'm just pushing buttons too fast.
Nickname bath salts. Videos have gone viral of users hallucinating, stripping down, displaying violent behavior, even injuring themselves. But despite these disturbing videos, bath salts remain popular amongst teens and young adults. Our next guest's experience with this drug caused her terrorizing hallucinations. It even took her to the brink of death.
Notice that they won't say in the white community. They will not say that. If it was in the black community, they would definitely say, oh, it's running rampant and these people are criminals and thugs and violent. But this is in the white community.
I was 18 years old. My boyfriend ended up leaving me for another girl, and it made me very depressed. I was hoping, binging on
how fragile their little psyches are.
Bath salt would make all the pain I was feeling go away. I always thought I heard sirens, lights flashing. I would always look out the window.
She didn't really want to be around anybody that much. She stayed to herself a lot.
I was living at my dad's house. I had been binging on bath salts for 5 days. It was just me by myself in the house with my cat.
So her mother's in her life, her father's in her life. She's not homeless. She's not in an abusive relationship. Simply her boyfriend broke up with her. And now she can't deal with that. And so she turns to drugs, which is not the key to why I'm sharing this story. But pay attention to this story. So the drugs is definitely a problem. They make them hallucinate. They're acting crazy and deranged. But let's finish
decided to snort a whole vial of bath salt in one setting. I kept hearing my boyfriend's voice saying how much he hated me, how I should kill myself. I ended up trying to stab myself, trying to knife out the night. I didn't have the guts to do it and decided to break into my dad's room. He had a few guns in it. I grabbed the first one. I tried to cock it back and the bullet got jammed sideways. I ended up grabbing the second gun. I couldn't get to work. I got the last gun. I shot it.
So you have these crazy, deranged albinoid people fueling themselves with drugs and guns. Drugs and guns. And yet they'll tell you, oh, Chicago, we really need to get, these guns off the streets, get these guns out of the hands of these thugs and, they're drug dealers and gunslingers. What do we see right here? We see some crazy, deranged white supremacist woman fueling herself with drugs. She just told you she snorted a whole vial of bath salts and then went and got some guns. So she where is the fury and where's the anger? Where's our government saying let's go into this neighborhood and clean it up because let's call in the National Guards? Like where is that right now?
I went straight into my jaw. I felt the most searing, hot pain in my face. I fell to the floor. I could move my jaw from side to side. I had blood coming down my shirt. I was freaking out. I thought that my boyfriend had shot me. I kept hearing his voice. It sounded like snipers were coming after me. My mailman heard me screaming, talked me out of the house. I told him somebody shot me. He ended up calling the cops. They shut down the school right next to my house because they thought shooters were around the place.
So let's think about this. Let's imagine this girl's black. She's black, she's high and crazy, and she has 3 guns, because this lady just told you she had 3 guns. And she shot the gun. Would she be alive at this moment? Absolutely not. She would have been shot on sight when these police got here. This is the stuff that I'm talking about, and this is why I'm showing you this, because we have to see the hypocrisy that is in our government. And this is again another issue, another case that shows you the hypocrisy, the white supremacist terrorism, and the injustice that we live in. Because if she were black, she would be dead. For sure. For sure, she would have been shot dead.
In the back of an ambulance, and they rushed me to the hospital. Once I was in the ambulance, it clicked in my head what had happened. I did bath salt and I shot myself.
My first got a phone call, and I heard that she had been shot. It was just sheer panic. When I walked into the room. Her face was so swollen, she was barely recognizable. The bullet shattered her jaw into about 200 pieces. I almost lost my daughter that day. I stayed there for about a week, and then they ended up moving me to a psych ward. She got out and was still struggling. I felt like I was just so alone. I didn't feel like anybody cared enough, and they wanted me to live. She was in for like 2 weeks. She got out and she started using it again.
So she would be in jail too, if she wasn't there. I'm going to be done with this. I'll leave the link to this video in the description box. I'm sorry, my brain just went boop. So let's get out of this. So the thing that upset me about this video is there's 3 things. First, we have all these crazy white people with guns. Okay. The majority of the guns in America are in the homes of lunatic white supremacist terrorists. But we don't hear that on the news, and we don't hear that as a problem, and no one's trying to get these guns out of their hands. So we have crazy, deluded drug addicts with guns. Had this woman been black, she would be dead. If by very slim chance she survived the police coming to her house with her being on drugs and having 3 guns, one that she had already shot, if she did survive that, with the manhunt that she said was done, there was a manhunt looking for this person that she made up, because there was no person, no one shot her, she shot herself, and so thousands of dollars was wasted looking for some fictional individuals that just didn't exist. So had she been black, she would need to pay for that. They would definitely charge her for making false allegations and using public resources for nothing. This is a problem, and this is what we live in. This is that nice suburbs that you don't hear about. That too bad you're not from, because you live in hell because you live in a black neighborhood. Give me hell then, because if I would rather live in a gang infested black neighborhood than a drug-infested white neighborhood with crazy people with guns and just lunacy. And if you want to watch the rest of that video, there's more to it, but she's offered help, and she's offered therapy and all this, great white privilege stuff that black people don't get. They get to go to jail. That would be her help. Her help would be prison and paying for the wasted public resources. But of course, they don't tell you this, and I'm getting tired of the fact that when you turn on news, you always hear black this and black people doing this, but we're not doing anything. They're doing the most of it. They're wasting all the government resources. They have all the guns on the streets. Should she have had a gun? No, she should not have had access to 3 guns, but because she's white and she lives in a white neighborhood, she's fine. She gets to exercise her Second Amendment right and not be shot for it. Because there's no way anyone can say that if she was black, she would not have been killed. Like, seriously. Anyways, I don't have a lot of time today, so I'm going to wrap this video up. I just wanted to share it with you because when I saw it, I was very disgusted. There's so many different drugs that are on the streets in the white community. It is an epidemic. It's disgusting, and something needs to be done about it, and not suing pharmaceutical companies. That's not going to take the drugs out of these white people's hands, because if you will snort bath salt, what are we going to, we can't take every chemical off the shelf so that they can stop using it. Like that's their problem. But of course, the government will happily pay for that, just as long as it's not helping Black people. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. I'm really excited that I have 2,000 subscribers, so yay. Thank you guys so much for all your support, and yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.